Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. As always, thanks for spending some time with us. The Virginia lesson, that's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, Dems won the Virginia special election last night on redistricting, but they just lost a legal battle. In an order that was just issued, a circuit court judge in Tazewell held that the referendum was unconstitutional. The judge entered an injunction blocking certification of the election and denied a motion to stay pending appeal. Now, the state attorney general, Jay Jones, announced he will, of course, appeal this immediately. No surprise there. And this is ultimately going to be fast-tracked to the Commonwealth Supreme Court. It's hard to game this stuff, but I think it's probably less than 50-50 that the Democrats lose this. But the redistricting ballot initiative was worded in a confusing fashion. And it does have the effect, no doubt, of disenfranchising approximately 40 to 45% of Virginians who will now have zero representation or paltry representation for their views and their values.
I know you campaigned for governor as a moderate seeking to represent all Virginians, but what do you say to constituents who feel this ballot measure was partisan and only serves the interests of the Democratic Party?
There are many other opportunities for them to look at my body of work as governor, the work that I am doing as governor, and see in that work that I am working for them.
Oh, working for the people. She said stuff like, oh, farming. She's focusing on the farmers and affordable housing, stuff like that. Nice non-answer, Governor. She is an insufferable woman. Now, look, you got to hand it, though, to the Democrats. They may not have a positive agenda to run on, but they don't care. For them, it's all about winning, and they mean business. On this, they went all in with their heavy hitters like Obama, huge money, and they ultimately beat Republicans by having better messaging and a better ground game. And they're not stopping there. As Senate Republicans agonizing, they hem, they haw over nuking the filibuster, well, Democrats are already planning to do it if they get back into power.
We are in an era of maximum warfare. We're going to keep the pressure on Republicans in every single state in the union to ensure at the end of the day that there is a fair national map.
All right, you heard him. Maximum warfare. Now, what do people think he means there? Holding polite debates? Well, Jeffries might be odious, but he is telling us what they intend to do. And it's to reverse every aspect of the MAGA agenda by any means necessary. Again, maximum warfare. Listen to what they say. Oh, by the way, they say Trump is dividing the country. Of course, the Democrats argue, using fourth grade logic, that Texas started it with its own midterm redistricting. And yes, it is true. Texas was aggressive with the timing. But at least it followed the state law by calling on the state legislature to vote on this. And then it was signed into law by the governor. It's permissible as well under Supreme Court precedent. But by contrast, the Virginia measure leapfrogged its own bipartisan commission. That was a body established to prevent this type of partisan gerrymandering. But Scamberger and others, look, they're going to defend it by arguing that since this was described as temporary in the ballot measure itself, it's legit. Well, again, this is something that the Virginia Supreme Court is going to have to decide. But again, Republicans cannot bank on a favorable court ruling here. They need to learn some hard lessons, and they need to learn them fast.
Team Jeffries has dumped more than $50 million into this. And they view this as an opportunity for the largest power grab that anyone can imagine.
Now, we need more than just money, though, to beat them. We need grassroots engagement. We need a Tea Party-like activism on the ground. So what's the point of having an RNC if the RNC doesn't see what's at stake here? But there is also a flip side here. Democrats are a lot more vulnerable than the media is letting on. Despite outspending Republicans, Virginia, 3-1, Democrats only won this measure by 2.9 points, meaning this underperformed Kamala in the 2024 race, which she won by 5.8 points.
Last night, this was a 3-point race. That's actually a 3-point overperformance of the Trump 2024 historic performance in Virginia. So just as a baseline for all the Democrats crowing this morning, if Republicans perform anywhere near on average the way they did in Virginia last night, we not only add seats to the Senate, but we add seats to the House, and we have a historic midterm.
My snap reaction last night was one of despair, being honest with you. But we should not fall prey to that. Instead, let's use this moment. We have no time for complacency, no time for defeatism. Let's dust ourselves off and fight. Remember, the left has no meaningful agenda to run on. They don't care about your standard of living. They didn't care about gas prices when Biden was president. They don't care about them now. They want to outlaw your gas-powered cars. They're running a campaign right now, mostly, to demoralize and divide you. Do not let them win. Yeah, there are historical headwinds, though, and it makes the midterms tough in the best of times. And yes, the war in Iran is not helping. But nothing is inevitable in November. The Democrat agenda is simple. Win by any means necessary, then nuke the filibuster to pack the court, open the border back up, give 25 million illegals amnesty, import more fake refugees, and impeach Donald Trump again. Then it's game over for America. Even Murkowski and Collins can't hate Trump so much that they're willing to see that happen. Majority Leader John Thune is an institutionalist, but he's also a patriot. So, sir, give this everything you have. Spend all your political capital. Answer Hakeem Jeffries' maximum warfare threat by eliminating the filibuster yourself and passing the Save America Act. And that's The Angle.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.